moon. AMP token, what the hell you gon' do? When Lambo to the moon. AMP token, what the hell you gon' do? Got my bags packed, got the token stake. Looks like a bull flag. I'm diamond hands, man. Candles on the rise and I just got paid. Gemini, limit order, this is the way. DCA on the dip, hodl on the crash. Never sell at a loss, never click on the spam. No fun, pure bull, what the hell you gon' do? Empire on the rise, cause FOMO is a no-no. When Lambo to the moon. AMP token, what the hell you gon' do? When Lambo to the moon. AMP token, what the hell you gon' do? Got my swag on, tipping the hat low. Download the Spedin app, off to Petco I go. Bitcoin, Dogecoin, Litecoin, and more. Over 41,000 spendable stores. Read that white paper, and now I'm in the know. Studied the Flexa team, and then I bought some mo. Was from the block then, now on the blockchain. Spitting ether and I'm buying it. AMP gang. SDK, Shopify, and a high APY. Make no mistake, not financial advice. Lambo to the moon. AMP token, what the hell you gon' do? When Lambo to the moon. AMP token, what the hell you gon' do? It's the end of the fiat, decentralized era. Satoshi Nakamoto, all coins, so I dare ya to airdrop me. You can't stop me. Flexa, consensus, a DeFi monopoly. All-time high, end of inflation. Legal compliance, adoption by nations. A shout out to the Facebook AMP token group family. Your keys, your crypto.
Yeah, so I myself I'll start with CTX. So CTX, and I'll try to compare it a little bit to AMP and for everybody out there, so you can kind of see where there are some, let's say, some similarities, and then of course where there are like differences. I think that could be helpful, for the community. So similar to how with AMP you're able to take the AMP token and stake it, not only to support the the Flexa network, but also you're able to vote in governance right with it. That is very similar to what CTX is. CTX is the governance token for the Cryptex protocol. Users or holders of CTX, one utility of it is you're able to take CTX, stake it, delegate it to a crypt keeper, who's someone that is responsible for voting and helping really put forward the best possible ways to govern and to kind of guide the direction of the protocol. So it's similar, let's say in that sense where there is the utility of staking and being able to participate in governance. And really what CTX powers, or what you're governing, is the Cryptex protocol. What the Cryptex protocol does is it allows you to deposit collateral and borrow TCAP. And for people who don't want to maybe participate on the borrowing of TCAP side, TCAP in and of itself is a token that represents the entire crypto market. So if you're new, let's say this is where we see like users that are more newer to the space. If you're not sure if I should take a position in Ethereum or Bitcoin or whichever it is, TCAP is a way for you to get exposure to every single coin and token that exists. So as long as you believe in crypto and Web3 and everything that's happening in the space, it's a token that represents quite literally everything.
Wow, man, that's pretty deep there. I'm looking actually on the Facebook, and somebody said they couldn't hear us. Can you guys hear us now? It's probably going to take a few second delay. But anyways, we'll come back to that. I just want to check and look to see if there's any questions. But it looks like they can hear us now, so I think we're good to go. They heard most of it, hopefully. If not, okay. I've got it recorded and we can play it back anyways. Okay, so that was the easiest layman's term. I can only imagine the technical way you explained that one. Yeah, so crypto is pretty technical sometimes, but most of our community are investors. You've got a few traders here and there, and then you've got some pretty savvy people within the space too as well. For myself personally, I just bought my first NFT this morning, and I've been in crypto
Very
for about a
nice.
year. Yeah, I just bought my first. What is it? Blue Chimps.
Yeah, which one did you get?
Yeah, it was Blue Chimps. It just came
Blue
out yesterday.
Chimps?
Yeah,
Cool.
it's a
Okay, I
free
didn't
sale
see those.
yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, it just came out. Shock just got on yesterday on Twitter Spaces, and there was like over 500-600 people there, and they're only
Nice.
minting like 1,000 of them, and I'm learning that. That's a whole new thing that I'm learning too.
Yep,
You
yep,
know.
yep. That's a whole other space, right? If you thought, supply and demand, that's probably one of the best ways you could learn it is NFTs right now.
Yep, definitely for sure. Um, so TCAP is basically it takes data and finds the total cap of the entire crypto space. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. So, for like, let's say the holders or the people that are looking for broad exposure to the crypto market, TCAP is exactly that product. You simply can hold it and just kind of like you would buy the S&P, 500 that represents, the broader market.
Yeah.
TCAP is that same exact concept for the crypto space. So for the holder, that's simply all you have to do. Hey, I want broad exposure to crypto. I'm going to, swap and grab some TCAP and hold on to that. And that's, I think, the
Hmm.
simplest way to, to look at TCAP and to kind of say, hey, like, if I'm a holder or if I want to get exposure to the whole market, that's why I would grab TCAP.
That's an interesting thing there. So, wow. So, I mean, that's a lot of data. I mean, where do you get all this data? I mean, I don't know if you can spill it out, but where do you get all this data from? Like, where's the feeds coming from?
Yeah, so really, none of what we do would be possible without Chainlink. We
Mm,
use decentralized oracles. So what that helps with is it helps with the integrity of the data and of the price that you're getting. It is not like one central source of information. There are multiple sources that are pulling in this example, the total crypto market cap price. So from places like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, CoinPeprica, Nomics, there's probably 5 or so others as well. And it basically grabs the median price, the median total crypto market cap price. And that's what the Oracle says is hey, this is the price of the total market. So that's how we kind of get that number. And again, without Chainlink, it would not be possible because we do this in a decentralized way to help ensure that, there is no price manipulation that's
absolutely.
directly coming from the Oracle.
And I think shout out to Chainlink too, because I think
Shout
they've
out to
really
Chainlink for real.
yeah, they've really captured the market with their data, and it's pretty accurate. I mean, it's actually really on point, and everybody's starting to use Chainlink, which is also very undervalued at this point. I think
Yep.
yeah, a lot of people don't really know what Chainlink is capable of, and I think AMP is tied into Chainlink, if I'm not mistaken, too as well.
I'm pretty actually there's a Oracle that's there for AMP. Yep, I
Yep.
know that.
Yep. Okay. And so I know this whole discussion is somehow to find a nexus between AMP and CTX, and how we can make it beneficial to the AMP holders and how we can make it beneficial to the TCAP and CTX community too as well. So how would it be beneficial to you guys? Like I know we talked about something, having a governance proposal to use AMP to mint TCAP or something like that. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, so recently what we did was we put a poll out there to the community. So currently, when minting TCAP, you have 2 options for collateral. You have Ethereum and you also have DAI. The community has really spoken and said, hey, we would like to deposit and use other coins and tokens that that we have as collateral. So when we put the poll out there, there were a couple let's say things that definitely had to be there. And one of those things was there had to be a price oracle coming from from Chainlink. And it's interesting, you would like of all the coins and tokens that are out there, there's actually not that many that have a decentralized price oracle through Chainlink. So
Chainlink, yeah.
really your options go from thousands to maybe a couple hundred at best. And what's so interesting to us about that is we put this poll out to the community and said, hey, what would you like to see? We listed a couple different coins and tokens, and we had the option for people to request other. Other was actually one of the buckets that was, selected quite often. And, we asked people in the comments to kind of drop in and say, hey, like of other, what did you want to see? And the overwhelming majority of that did come from the AMP community. They kind of voiced that, that they wanted to, to see that there. And, that's really what we want. We want to be able to listen to community and understand that if people want these things, we're going to build what people want, not what, people think that, or we might think people want. So really that's, why I think we're connecting here and we're able to try to brainstorm and see, hey, not only, how can we make that happen, but how can we make sure that we work together and, kind of voice this and echo this out to get many more people behind it.
Nice. That's amazing. And so I guess the next question would be, so how long has TCAP and CTX been around? I think TCAP was first, right? If I'm not mistaken. Or
so we actually, the thing about CTX or with Cryptex is, we strive to be as decentralized as an organization as we possibly can be. And actually TCAP, the system and the product, TCAP itself was ready to use back in 2020, but we delayed the launch of it so that we were able to build out and think through governance. So when we launched back in April of this year, actually April 8th of this year, we did launch both with the ability for you to mint TCAP and also for you to be able to utilize and kind of participate in governance with CTX on the same day. So that's when everything was launched, was in the middle of April. So
they got launched on the same day. That's amazing.
Exactly. Yeah, like I said, we we wanted to be as decentralized as an organization as we possibly could be.
Yeah.
And I think too, what you're seeing with that come to life is we've spent a lot of time on these aspects. And most recently, what we've done for this is, we've asked people to kind of step forward to be delegates, or we call them crypt keepers, who are people that are truly going to help vote and kind of help vote through or get proposals set up or kind of get things moving on the kind of the community and the voting front. And now we actually have almost and close to 400,000 CTX that have been staked and delegated to these crypt keepers. So it's been really important for us to get this decentralized governance and the decision, out of just the team's hand and into the community's hand. So that's why we launched both of those, at the same exact time.
Wow, sweet. So as of today, how many exchanges and where can we find TCAP and CTX? Where can you find those?
Yeah, so TCAP and CTX, they're both available to be traded on basically any decentralized exchange or any type of wallet or aggregator like a Zapper or Argent, Matcha, anything like that. On the centralized side, so far, CTX is able to trade and be held in custody on Gemini, and TCAP is available for custody on Gemini.
Okay, so TCAP is on Gemini for custody right now, but not for trade, not tradable. But if you wanted to get TCAP, you can go on like Uniswap or any of those swaps and swap it out. Is that correct?
Any of them, it's been impressive to see what's been happening on the decentralized wallet front. I know, really shout out to Dharma. Dharma is now become the first decentralized wallet where you're able to deposit or deposit from your bank account straight
that's right. I saw that.
Straight to the Polygon network, right?
That's
Which
right.
Of course you could go to ETH and on most, but to go to Polygon or to go to other solutions, I think is huge. Even you see with Coinbase now, especially with the Coinbase and the NFT marketplace that they're having, that's all being done through their decentralized wallets. So, like I said, CTX and TCAP on any of those, whether it's Coinbase wallet, whether it is MetaMask, whether it's Formatic, whether it is something like Zapper, Argent, Dharma, and any of those aggregators as well. It's literally on any decentralized, platform that's out there.
Speaking of exchanges, I heard there's a pretty cool story about how you got CTX listed on Gemini. I heard it was a pretty interesting story, and I know, I don't know the Winklevoss twins, but I know of them, and I know that to get on Gemini, I mean, there's really, really strict rules, and they really vet the tokens that come on their platform. So I know that CTX is a pretty solid project just based on that, and then aside from all the other research. But what, if you want to tell the users, how did you end up getting CTX?
Yeah. So I can tell a story. So and you're absolutely right. You know, with Gemini, it is one of the most like not like in terms of like regulated, like not only externally, but I think within themselves as well.
Right.
They take high pride on security and vetting and looking through things. But you know, the story with Gemini is definitely, I think, unique, but pretty quintessential New York City. So we have there's three co-founders at the organization: myself, Joe, and Preston. So Joe was in the city one day, and he was, you know, having some pizza, you know, and kind of exiting one place, and running by goes the twins. Now at this time, you know, you're talking like 3, maybe a little bit more years ago. At this point, this is when Cryptex and TCAP were like just a thought, like just become literally a thought. But enough of a thought that when Joe saw them running by, you know, he took off running. Now, I'm sure most people know what the twins look like, or their history, that they're like, you know, massive athletes, you know, so they're running through, you know, the city, you know, together. And I even think too, they were wearing like matching attire or something like that. So Joe sees them and absolutely takes off. Now this is Joe, like half a piece of pizza or a drink in his hand, and kind of just just keeps it moving. And after a couple blocks and a couple red lights, he caught up to them, and, you know, out of breath, was just like told them what he was doing and what was happening. And you know, they, from how Joe describes it and says it, you know, they were like pretty like open, you know, kind of like, hey, like not like so much like we're going to list this today, but we're interested in hearing what you're doing, what you want to learn more. And that really started a like 3-year journey in a relationship, and keeping people updated, and like, hey, here's what we're doing. And I think the story shows like the resiliency that even when something's a thought and, you know, it seems so far out or so impossible, you just got to keep grinding, and no matter what, you know, you're gonna make it happen. And that couldn't have been more true, you know, with Joe seeing the twins running, and now that being a huge catalyst for being listed on, you know, on Gemini.
Gemini. Congratulations, and shout out to Joe on that one. That was good work.
Shout out to Joe, man. Yeah, for real, man.
I keep laughing on that one because I could just picture it, envision it. You know, you're enjoying this thing, and then you see those guys. You're like, wait a minute, and then he's just running. They're probably like jogging, and he's just probably just full force because these guys are super athletes. You know, I don't even think I could catch up to those guys. They're like, those guys are pretty athletic there.
The athletes, you're talking about like D1 too. So not easy for sure.
Yep. So what's the plans for like TCAP and CTX? Like, you know, as far as like more exchanges, more exposure, more technologies. What's the future plans? What's the roadmap that you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, listen, you know, like the decentralized front, we've pretty much conquered in terms of CTX and TCAP being available to people. The centralized front, it is a challenging space, and it's one where definitely, you know, the centralized exchanges are more so taking the lead and leading the dance than, you know, we are. And, you know, as much as we want to be on additional platforms and whatnot, you know, there is that cadence to it. So however, you know, that happens, we're always pushing and always working, you know, as best as we can to make these things happen. But, you know, that's definitely one thing that's been top of mind. And really the other biggest things coming up are additional collateral types. That's why we've been taking these polls and really getting other holders involved and interested in using tokens that they have and that they're holding as collateral to be able to mint or borrow TCAP. But also, you know, what we're looking to do as well is introduce some new product types as well. And another thing is really building out Vaults V2. So allowing people to really use things or assets that are not necessarily able to be used today to potentially be used in the future as collateral in the protocol. I'd say those are amongst many other things. Those are probably the 3 that are top of mind for the team at any given time.
Wow, you guys sound like you're going to be super busy. That's a lot of work.
Busy, and listen, we're hiring pretty much across the board. If you're a developer, if you're, you know, an author, a designer, a marketer, really anybody that's in game theory. I mean, economics, it runs across the board. You know, we're hiring. We would love to bring on as many new people that can help out as possible. And not only do we have these more like full-time or let's call them like, you know, full-time contributor things, there's also opportunity for people to contribute part-time. You know, if you're interested or have one thing that you do well or think can go well, you know, for the organization, please come in and participate. We have a great group of people. We call them the coordinates, where they come in, they work part-time on things that they want to work on. And it's also another great way where we get, you know, more contributions and a lot of community members involved. So please, if anybody's looking for extra work and wants to be rewarded and has a great skill set, you know, Cryptex is hiring.
Awesome. And so for the CTX community out there, which includes me, because I'm a CTX holder, I just want to let you guys know yeah, absolutely. And, you know, without talking too much about price, I know we want to stay away from that, but I'll tell you one thing. Personally, it's paid for my Big Bear trip, and I love CTX. Took me and my 6 kids out to Big Bear free of charge. So
amazing.
Yep.
Yo, I love that. I love that.
And so just for the CTX community out there, if you're not aware what AMP token is, you can go to our, you know, our website, which is amptoken.org, and there's a white paper on there that explains, and in just the most basic way to explain it to people that are not aware of what AMP token is and Flexa is, AMP token is basically a collateral token for Flexa transactions. So Flexa network is integrated across, you know, over 41,000 stores in the United States right now, and we're talking about big name, top name stores. We're talking about Nordstrom's, we're talking about Ulta Beauty, we're talking about Baskin Robbins, and, you know, Regal Theaters, and just a lot of these big name brands, Nordstrom Racks, Office Mat. I mean, the list goes on. They keep adding more. You know, and they're partners with some really big, you know, they've got some really big partnerships out there, and you could literally walk into a store right now with the Gemini Pay app. You get the Gemini on your phone, and then there's a pay option, and you can pay with things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Dogecoin, and a bunch of other tokens out there. You can spend your crypto at any of these stores and buy things. And you know, for me, I use it a lot because I've literally migrated my entire bank account over to crypto. Because why have I've made no money in the bank, you know, and then I let it sit in the crypto, and there's all these different pools and things you could, you know, get percentages and stuff like that, and so it sits there, and one day I'm like, wait a minute, I can't use my card because I got no more money in there. And so I started looking at the list. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to start going shopping here. So I've been shopping in a lot of places. You know, hopefully they get some, you know, some Walmarts and Amazons and all that stuff in the future, or, you know, 7-Elevens or whatever it is, and we can walk into these stores we go in every day. That's what I'm waiting for. We're still early in the infancy stages, and so Flexa provides the SPEDN app, and Gemini Pay uses the Flexa network. And so when you walk into the store and you go up to the cash register and you're going to make a purchase with crypto, what happens is, we know that it would take so long for these transactions to process, and you're not going to sit there and wait 30 minutes for all the, you know, everything to go through. So what AMP token does is it puts up collateral and just basically makes that transaction instantaneous, so the customer can walk right out with the product, and if anything happens in that time, the merchant is still going to get paid, regardless, because it's the collateral. That's regardless of what happens, that merchant is getting paid, and they're only getting charged 1% for that transaction, compared to 3, 4, 5. Like for my business, we're getting all the way up to like 6.5%, 7%. So that's what AMP token does. It provides collateral for real world transactions to spend your crypto out in the real world, and more to come. There's a lot more things like online transactions and, you know, a bunch of other things other than spending in stores, and that's all coming up in the future.
Yeah, you see, and like I love that you said that, David, because that's one thing that I think is so hard in the space is patience. Like there is so much, like just what you mentioned about AMP and about Flexa. There are like it's really, even though it's a big organization, it's still in its infancy of what it is able to achieve, and that's what I think is so difficult in the space. Is, you know, what it can become and what it will become, but these things just take time. They go through different, you know, ups and downs, And the patience is, I think, what is like definitely difficult, because you know what it can be, and you're like, hey, like we know you could get there, and all good things just take time.
Absolutely, and here's my quick little story. I was in Las Vegas and I was really young and I had a lot of money. I mean, money was pouring out of my ears. I was really young and got really lucky when I was young, or worked really hard, I guess you could say. And I'm sitting in Vegas and we're up on the top and we're in this bar and I'm paying for everybody's drinks, and this guy walks up to me and he says, "Hey man," he says, "I see you're buying everybody drinks." He's like, "What do you do?" And I'm like, "Well, I do some stuff on the internet. Internet just came out. And he hands me his card. And he's like, "You want to jump in on this business with me?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, man, I don't really have the time. And
Yep.
so, anyways, fast forward a couple of years, and I'm cleaning out my garage, and I remember seeing his card, and I looked at his card, and I said, "You got to be kidding me!" It was Elon Musk. I said, "You got to be
No,
kidding me!"
no
Yeah,
way.
Elon Musk. And so when I heard about AMP Token, right, and they're taking over the payments space, I was thinking about PayPal, and I said, I missed that one already. I'm not going to miss this opportunity. No, not again. So yeah, so
Right, not again, no
yeah,
way. And you
no,
see, listen, you see with everybody. I was reading something, I think a couple weeks ago, where they said that it was like 4%. No, I'm sorry, I think the number was bigger than that, but it's something like X% of people have quit their jobs to kind of either work in crypto full time, or
yeah.
have done so well that they can think about what they want to do next. And everyone has their own story and way that they got into it. And I love that it was Elon Musk in Vegas that
Oh man,
really sparked it for you.
it hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It really hurts. But it's all right. Kudos to him. A lot of people don't like him for the
Shout out
things
Elon
he's doing.
Musk. Shout out Elon
Yeah,
Musk.
shout
Yep,
out to
yep.
Elon Musk. He's doing things in a major way. I'm not mad at him. Anyhow, I really appreciate you coming on the show and taking your time to explain what CTX is. And this is just the beginning of the relationship between CTX and AMP Token, I believe. And we can get some of the developers and some of the Flexa staff members to be in contact with you and your team too as well. And maybe work on having that government's proposal. And I think having some of our members join the CTX community as well, in addition to AMP. And then what would it take for them to have voting rights in the governance?
Yeah, I mean, listen, if whatever amount of CTX you hold, you have a say. You can participate.
Cool.
It's up to you. You can participate as an individual, or if you personally do not want to participate, you're able to choose from a delegator. They're called
Oh,
with us crypt keepers, and
okay.
you're able to literally stake and delegate your CTX to them. Everybody has like bios up and their socials up there, so you can kind of get a feel for who they are, what they stand for. And that kind of helps you know that, hey, like my CTX is still going to voting and proposals. It's just I'm staking it or delegating it to somebody that I think aligns with my vision or interest, or whatever it might be.
Sweet. And so where can we find Cryptex? I mean, what's your website domain? Let's go there.
Yeah, so the website is cryptex.finance. That's where you can find us. We're on Twitter as well. Cryptex Finance is the handle. Discord, we are very active in Discord. That's where you could catch the team and a lot of great people from the community. If you go to our website, just scroll down to the bottom on contact, you'll see the Discord link. Or if you go through our Twitter, you can also pop on the Linktree link that we have there, and you can find the Discord and a couple of our other social channels that we're on as well, all from there.
Sweet. Awesome. And if you're looking, actually, when this is over, I'm going to post on the YouTube channel too as well, the links. So if you're watching and you want the links to the Cryptex Finance or to the AMP Token or Flexa network websites, you can find it there. And yeah, definitely going to be in contact, bring you back. I really appreciate your time. And yeah, let's definitely get this thing moving, and let's get this moving for both communities. I love both communities.
Cool.
They're both amazing. I've been with Cryptex for a short period of time now, but it's done some great things for me. And
We're happy to have you here with us, and thank you for really bridging these two communities together. And yeah, look forward to what we're going to be able to do.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Take it easy, buddy. Have a good one.
All right, thanks. Have a good one.
For sure.
Bye, everybody.
All right. Bye, guys.